All right. Tweeted and yeeted.
Tweeted and yeeted. All right, make sure everything looks good. Go. All right, cool. All right, I think we are good to go. Actually, let me change this to go. All right, I'll see you in 15.
15.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Gaming with the Broscast, episode 251. My name is Harrison. I am joined by my brother Nick, as always. Nick, how you doing, buddy?
What's up, dude? I'm doing good. Good. We got State of Play this week.
We do, yeah.
Do we have a Nintendo Direct this week? Who knows?
Maybe.
Maybe a little Valentine's Day Direct, a little gift from Daddy Nintendo.
Yeah, that would be nice. I mean, it could very well get announced tomorrow morning, and then we'll have it for Thursday. So that would be very nice. But yeah, before we dive into we're gonna give our predictions for the State of Play. I don't really know what to expect of this thing. First one that we've had in a while from PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really know what games they have coming, but hey, this could be very much like Nintendo. We don't usually know what Nintendo has for us until the Direct happens, and then all of a sudden we have a few months of games that we're looking forward to. So
Exactly.
still very, very exciting, especially coming off of Xbox's fantastic developer Direct. So pretty excited for that. But Nick, before we dive into what we've been playing and all that good stuff, how was your week?
That was great. Went camping Saturday night.
I saw the glizzy on the stick.
Oh man, that was such an impeccable glizzy. Just cooked to perfection. I cooked it and then I put it on the bun, and then I speared the bun with the glizzy in there, and then I grilled that for a little bit too.
Ooh.
It was extra nice.
Hot dogs are never better when you're out camping. They're just
something about it.
There's something about it.
Something about an outdoor glizzy.
Yeah. Did you have any beans or any? What was your side? Chips?
We bought Sun Chips and like the bag of munchies, and then we had some pickled onions and some ketchup, and put that on the hot dog.
Oh man! Did you have like the what kind of Sun Chips did you have? Like the regular ones or like the cheese ones?
No, it was like what's the purple bag called? The garden salsa.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it was excellent.
But did y'all camp the whole weekend, or just Friday and Saturday? Just Friday?
Just Saturday night. We went 30 minutes away to this lake, and it was car camping, right? So like, we set up our tent right outside of our car.
Oh, so they it was like an official campsite.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a fire pit. There was a picnic table, and we brought our dog Snacks with us, and
nice.
She I think she liked it a medium amount. She didn't like it when we put out the fire and got into the tent, and she realized that she was like stuck inside of the tent. So she freaked out a little bit in there, and then she eventually calmed down. But yeah, it was a ton of fun. I mean, there were a lot of people there, a lot of RVs, a lot of long-term campers there. We were really the only tent, and we had the smallest car too. Like,
I would say y'all, out of all of them, y'all probably did it the right way.
I'd be inclined to agree. We had a
if you're gonna go camping, I mean, you might as well do the whole thing.
Yeah,
it's not really camping if you're in an RV. Sorry, not sorry.
I know. Yeah, yeah. We did all the things. We toasted some marshmallows and made hot dogs and sat by the fire.
Camping is so weird because like, as soon as it gets dark, it's like bedtime, pretty much. Because there's like not much you can really. I mean, if you have like a bunch of people and you have a cooler, a beer or something, like you could probably make a night out of it. But I mean, if it's just you two, it's probably like 9 o'clock at the latest, and then it's like snooze time.
We bought 3 things of firewood.
Yeah,
and at first that seemed like way too much. But then we started like burning through it. Like it was cooking fast. So
Yeah.
we
Oh God, we don't have enough.
almost thought we didn't, but we got to 9 and we put on like the last logs and we said, okay, we're just gonna let these burn out and finish all of the firewood.
Yeah.
And it was done by 10.
Okay.
And then we went to bed and whenever you camp, you wake up at like 6:30 in the
Yeah, you
morning.
wake up super early.
Because you sleep like shit because
because
you're sleeping on the ground, whether or not you have a blanket or a foam pad down, you're still sleeping on the ground. So it sucks regardless. So you wake up super early, and then when we got up, packed everything into the car, ready to go, and the car wouldn't start.
Oh no! Did you leave a light on or something?
When I shut the trunk, it shut onto the blanket that we had put.
No.
Plugs.
Yeah.
So it didn't register it as being shut, even though it looked shut, and the battery drained. So we had to. I walked around the campsite and asked if anyone could jump us, and at first they said no, and then a guy came up to us a couple minutes later and said he had found his jumper cables and he brought his truck over and helped us jump.
That's about the worst possible experience you can have.
Yeah, I mean, it turned out great because we didn't have to call AAA and, we had it resolved within 10 minutes. But now, we drove my wife's car back and we're like, okay, it's probably fine, right? Like the battery, because it's a hybrid, like the battery's probably recharged, it's probably good. And then yesterday morning, we tried to start the car and it wouldn't start. So we jumped it again and let it run for a little bit. And now we're in the same spot where we're like, oh shit, we need to replace the battery.
Yeah.
So, now we got to do that, which is
at least you're back home and not. Luckily, we weren't like out of town, like way out of town or something.
I mean,
like,
worst case scenario, I could have Ubered back and we could have gotten my car and brought it and jumped her car. But that's still
just not a good,
not fun for a Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah,
I will say.
Yeah. Would you do anything for Super Bowl? Did you have anybody over? Did y'all cook anything?
We went over to a friend's house and hung out over there until halftime. That was really fun. Yeah, just met some new people. And then of course, like the game was a kind of a blowout. So we left around halftime.
It was pretty boring.
Yeah. I mean, Chiefs kind of sucked. So there's really not much to say about it. But
no, they got out.
Yeah,
I was telling Brandon, I was like, they literally their entire game plan was to stop Saquon, and they did. They just didn't stop anybody else. So they got crushed.
Yeah, and I never gamble or anything, but Alicia's mom was talking to us before the game, and she was like, "I'm gonna put some money down on the Eagles." I was like, "Okay." Like I have DraftKings, so I was like, "Okay, yeah. How much do you want to put down?" She's like, $100. I was like, "Okay, I'll match you." And we'll put down $200 and see what happens.
Yeah.
And we won. So we won $200. So,
there you go.
I mean, it was at least worth it in that regard.
Yeah.
It's a fun weekend. How about you?
It was good. Yeah, it didn't. I mean, just didn't do much on like Friday and Saturday. But yeah, Sunday we had a few friends come over and we made, I don't know, traditional food. Made some wings. Made some like buffalo chicken dip. Had some pizza for the kids. So yeah, it was good. Brittany made like a Taylor Swift themed like mixed drink of pretty much all of our like unused alcohol that we just never drink, like the Aristocrat vodka, a little bit of Smirnoff. I have a couple of tequilas in there, and I put like maybe 2 ounces of tequila in there. And then we had like some Malibu coconut rum that was like maybe that much left, like not even a full shot. Put that in there. So just kind of cleaned out the cabinet a little bit, and then put in like some strawberry lemonade that we had or that we bought from the store, and I think some Sprite and some other juice, some other mixture. It was really good. It was good. So, had some Jello shots made. It was good. It was fun. Nice.
What is it called when you go to when you do like a fountain drink with all the different kinds of drinks? Is it like a suicide?
Are you talking about like the bar mat where all the drink from the bar?
I'm talking about like a soda fountain. Like all the drinks in the soda fountain.
I don't think it's called the suit. I don't. Maybe it is. I don't know. But like that's what we would call like at Applebee's when I worked there, like all the juices and like everything you use that would kind of spill into that rubber mat, you would drain it out into a shot glass. And I mean, nobody ever did it, but that's what it was called. Is a suicide shot. Yeah. What's up, buddy?
Killing.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a good time.
Nice.
And I feel like the commercials aren't really that good this year either.
Pretty good. Nothing like super exciting this year.
Yeah.
Like a lot of movie trailers for movies that we've already seen a million trailers for, like Thunderbolts, seen a million trailers for it.
Captain America, I think, was shown off.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, honestly, I don't think the Super Bowl commercials have been that great in the last few years. Like, there's been nothing that's really super memorable, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a couple of like outliers, but for the most part, they're pretty mid.
Really, ever since Doritos stopped doing their great commercials.
Yeah.
When it all went downhill. And then it went to the crypto commercials and the apartments.com commercials.
For a while, yep. Yeah. Now the crypto didn't really take off like they thought it was. It's kind of out of the game on that one.
They didn't show their chest this year. I wonder why. I don't know.
Who knows? All right, well let's dive into what we've been playing. We'll end on Kingdom Come 2 since we've both been playing that. Nick, tell me about Ender Lilies.
Dude, you gotta play Ender Lilies. I've had this game for probably 2 years.
Okay.
And it's a Metroidvania, and I had started it, and for whatever reason fell off like a couple of hours in, and the sequel, Ender Magnolia, came out this year.
Yeah.
And it has rave reviews. It was like almost a 90 on Metacritic. I was like, okay, like this game looks really exciting. I really want to play it, but to make sure I like it, I should go through and like see if I really click with Ender Lilies.
Yeah.
Because, from what I read reviews wise, Ender Magnolia improves upon the gameplay and pretty much everything about Ender Lilies. So I played through the entire game to completion. It's about 15 hours. So it's a lot like a truncated version of Hollow Knight. It has, the charm system, they call it relics, but it has charms that augment your attacks, your health, aerial attacks, experience gain, that kind of stuff. And then the combat is kind of interesting because your character isn't actually doing the combat. You're summoning creatures in real time to do combat for you. And it functions exactly like, if I swing a sword with a character, it's instantaneous. So it's not like there's a lag or a delay to it.
Okay, that's good.
But basically what you're doing
I guess you have a little bit of like reach from your character to where like the little
there's a little bit more of a
spirit spawns. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I remember I watched the trailer for Ender Magnolia, so that instantly clicked when you said it. So okay.
Yeah. So basically what you're doing in the game is there's this blight that's kind of taken over this kingdom or the world or whatever, and you're going around to all these different like people that either worked or were related to the kingdom, and you battle them and then you purify them, and when you purify them you get their ability or you get their character.
Yeah.
So each time you defeat a boss you get like either some sort of like movement ability or you get their attack.
Okay.
And there's like 30-ish different abilities you can get, and you can level each of them up.
Okay.
You can level your own character up, and like it feels a lot like Hollow Knight in a really good way, except it's a shorter experience. It's not as in depth. But I fell in love with this game very, very quickly after picking it back up. My only gripe with this one is the map sucks.
Okay.
It's one of those maps where it shows
it's kind of a make or break for Metrovania.
Yes. It's not that bad.
Okay.
It's not a break, but it's one of those situations where you see what room you're in, but you can't see exactly where you're at in the room.
Oh,
so you
okay.
Right. So you can see like, there's a line, like you can see like the exits and entrances to a map and where they interconnect to different areas on that mini map, but you can't see where you are. So there's no point of reference. I did pick up Ender Magnolia and I started that, and in the new one, It shows you exactly where you're at on the
Okay.
map, and the
Yeah,
map
yeah.
is much
Took that
better. And
criticism. Okay, cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so it's already solved. And from what I've played, I've only played like 30 minutes of Ender Magnolia, but the movement feels a lot better. The combat feels a lot better. It's a sleeker design. Like I can't wait to play this game because I loved Ender Lilies, and this seems even
So
better.
should I just skip Ender Lilies and just play this one?
Maybe. I don't know, because I loved the story of Ender Lilies. I thought it was a really great
Okay.
story, and it wasn't that long of a game, but
It was about 10 hours.
yeah, yeah, about 10, 15
Okay.
hours. But at the same time, Ender Magnolia seems pretty fire. So
Okay. Okay. Oh,
I
I'll
would,
pick
yeah,
that up.
I would like watch a review or comparison
Okay.
or something. And
Well,
if
I
you're,
don't plan on picking up anything right now just because Kingdom Come it seems like it's going to be a massive game.
yeah,
So
and with Avowed coming,
and Avowed's coming next week. Reviews for that drop on Thursday, I believe. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that does. You know, the previews just happened for
South of Midnight.
South of Midnight, and those just seem like it's pretty great. Like the combat seems like it's
Seems
hit or miss,
okay,
but this everything else is like done well, like done really well. So
especially the story
yeah,
and
and
characters.
it's like 10 hours, 10 to 15 hours. That sounds like it's perfect. Yeah,
Yeah, it sounds like
maybe even shorter. I don't know.
I was a little worried seeing like all of these Xbox games so close together
Yeah,
between this and Doom and Claire Expedition 33, which isn't Xbox, but it's Game Pass.
yeah,
But seeing that this one is only 10 hours, it's like, okay, that's
yeah.
good.
10 hours, I think it's $40, so it's like a budget title.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't know
so
that.
it's
Okay.
definitely on the shorter side. So yeah, I'm looking. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. But yeah, with Kingdom Come right now and Avowed next week, I'm gonna have my
You're
fill of
good.
RPGs and stuff, and just gaming in general. So, but yeah, I'll probably pick that up at some point. So cool. Well, hey man, Metrovania games are some of the best. So if we can add another
Yeah.
great one to the list, I mean,
I feel like I always play one every year that I really like. Last year was Prince of Persia
yeah,
and Gandalf. All the
and all
Castlevania
the
games I
Castlevania
played.
games. Yeah,
Yeah. Ah, you should play the Castlevania games one day.
I should. I need to. I need to.
Yeah.
I need to go back and finish up. I beat Fusion. What's the one after? Metro,
Oh,
Super Metroid
Zero
maybe,
Mission?
or was it Zero Mission? The one that came out last year, I think, when we were in
Zero
Florida.
Mission.
Yeah, Zero Mission,
Yeah.
which is the first game, right? Just remade.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to go back. I think I was pretty deep into it, but I stopped for whatever reason. But yeah, Nick, let's talk about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. For to preface it, we both have not played the first one, so I didn't really know what to expect. I mean, I knew it was based off the trailers that I'd seen. I knew it was going to be like a very deep kind of medieval sim game, and boy, is it ever that! And it's absolutely fantastic.
It's one of those games that like it pushes back and it tests you a lot in the beginning, and you're gonna get annoyed and you're gonna get frustrated and
Yeah,
like, oh, like what, like why can I not just kill this guy, or why can
yeah,
I not just heal normally, or whatever it is? Why is my armor breaking? Why am I bleeding?
yeah,
Whatever. And then like uh, and then you have like a small accomplishment, right? Something happens, you complete a quest, you get enough money to buy something, forge a weapon, and it just like I feel like it just clicked.
yeah. Like the alchemy is super fun doing
Yeah,
that stuff. Like yeah, forging a weapon for the first time is really cool. I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess to like describe it for people that don't know, it's just think of like an Elder Scrolls game like Skyrim or Oblivion, um, but more on a deeper level. Like there's alchemy and stuff like that in Oblivion, but this is way more
like
like
you're doing
in
alchemy, you're
depth. Yeah,
creating
yeah,
potions.
you're muddling the ingredients. You're puffing the fire, the flame, and when you're doing the forging and stuff, it's on a pretty deep level. But yeah, I'll get the frustrations part out first because I thought that the tutorial kind of like couple hour tutorial, I guess you want to call it, the opening act was incredible. Like meeting all the characters, like starting out with like that really cool battle scene when you're defending the castle,
Yeah.
shooting the crossbow and stuff like that. And then it cuts to like, I guess it cuts to the past, right? Because he says, "Man, we were supposed to deliver a message," and then it cuts to the past. And then you're, you come across the troop of the people, and you're trying to figure out the dialogue situation. And then you have like the bathing scene, and that stuff happens, and then you're on the run, and then yeah, it's great, man. And then as soon as you open up, I think I was just ready to kind of go out into the world, and I probably should have stuck around the town a little bit more to see if maybe there was any jobs I could do to get money, so I could get something else, maybe some potions or whatever the case is. I think I jumped the gun a little bit too quickly, and it made me get really frustrated because I was trying to do a couple of missions, and I think I was on the way to the lady's hut that helps you out in the very beginning of the game, and I was on the rocks and I stumbled off and I broke my leg, or I started bleeding, so I had to like bandage up real quick. And yeah, it was one of those. I can't remember the last game I played. Maybe I'm thinking Silent Hill to like a degree where like sometimes in that game, if you don't get the bandages, you're really just kind of walking super slowly, and you're like, or at least the screen is just blinking red. So for like maybe like an hour and a half to 2 hours, I was walking really slow. My health was like 2 hits away, and I got stuck on one of the story missions or side missions, I guess. And I had to fight these wolves. We talked about it before, but it probably took me 30 to 40 tries to fight these stupid wolves. And then I finally got through it. Then I got stuck on another part later on, but ended up figuring out how to do it. So just one of those things. I think I jumped the gun a little bit too quickly, and it sounds like you maybe have had the same experience as well.
Yeah, I went south, and I should have gone north to the blacksmith first. I think getting there and getting a bed that you can sleep in.
Yeah.
Getting a new sword, which is better than your current sword.
Yep.
And then branching out from there, maybe going to find your dog after that.
Yeah.
I went to find my dog first, and I kind of like ended
exactly
up
what
in the
I
same
did.
side quest you did.
Yeah.
And it turns out
it's a pretty long sequence of events that happens for you to end up getting your dog. So yeah, I would definitely recommend, as soon as you get like control and you can go anywhere, head straight to the blacksmith, because it's just gonna make your experience, I think, a lot better. And they don't. I mean, they tell you like, hey, because you have to figure out a way to get into this wedding, and they kind of tell you, okay, you can go talk to the blacksmith, or you can go talk to somebody else, and get your way in. And I really think they should have said, hey, just go to the blacksmith first, and then it will open up for you. But
yeah, did you when you were down south, did you talk or find the guy that could help you with your combat?
yeah, the one that's over by the lady in the woods, kind of near like the nomads camp, I think.
Yeah, that guy was funny. It's like,
did you do that mission with the nomads, and you like drink all night with them?
No.
Oh, maybe so I haven't done that one you're talking about. If you're there's like a combat specialist that can teach you new moves over near where like the lady's at, and there's this group of it's the Cumans. It's like they're drinking at the bar where you first come across before the game opens up, and you're like taking the sacks of flour. If you go back there at some point, there's like a group of Cumans.
Yeah, I did that.
You did that? Okay.
Well,
there's probably a certain. I took the side of the Cumans.
Okay.
Because like they're just trying to like eat or whatever and get some meat or.
Well, I'll preface, I did too, but it's still escalated.
Well, yeah, there was still a fight that broke out, but I ended up taking the fight, taking the side of the Cumans in that fight, beat up the other guys, and then they were like, "Come drink with us," and then I was like, "All right." And then he took me to his camp.
Oh, nice. See, okay, he ran away, or he was walking away, and I was like doing something else, and then I saw that I could go talk to him.
Yeah.
But by the time I got there, it was too late. So now, I think the last time I played, I was starting a mission down near their camp, so I think I can just go
Yeah.
talk to them and
Maybe. Yeah.
maybe initiate that sequence. But no, the mission I was talking about it's like out in the woods, to the west, kind of like near where the mud mission is.
Yeah.
And there's this guy that you come across and he can help you improve your combat. And like he's just kind of like this weird like showman who keeps ending every sentence with nothing is impossible. And then he kept like naming all these like seemingly impossible things that he's done
Yeah.
and just kind of like
No, I don't
talking
think
himself
I've.
up.
Yeah, yeah. I think this, like I said, this game is like I think it's gonna be massive. I think there's another like zone because it's it's an open world game, but I think there's another area that eventually opens up. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I don't know how big this map is.
But yeah, I like the design of it. Like it's got like the weird kind of like um artsy cloud design, kind of like Elden Ring,
Yeah.
before you open up that area and it'll kind of disperse as you open up the map. Yeah, I mean this feels like what I want Elder Scrolls to be. Maybe not so much in the sim department for Elder Scrolls with, you know, maybe dial that back a little bit, but in this case I think it's just fine. But
Mhm.
yeah, just from like the combat is a little bit more involved, more interesting, pretty challenging.
Yeah.
Um and then like just going the stupid like Elder Scrolls Starfield, just the zoom in on the face. I'm done with it. And this game, it just kind of cut like it once you get into the dialogue tree, it just kind of cuts into a normal flow of a conversation where it shows your character and it shows, granted, your character actually talks versus Elder Scrolls, but it's a normal like flow of conversation.
Yeah.
It's great.
There's really good banter in this
Yes.
game
Yeah.
from the main character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one part like, is he a prince? The guy that you're with? I haven't seen him since the opening act, but the guy that you're
Yeah, he's a prince.
so he's a prince, and then
Hans.
like yeah, Hans, and then after like certain stuff happens, you kind of lose your clothing and all this, and then you smell like shit, and you're like he's like having a hissy fit. He's like, I'm Prince Hans of blah 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 blah, and then like the other guy's like, yeah, I'm Prince Hans. Like it's so stupid. It's so funny.
It's like it's in the 15th century, but it's like they're almost not talking like they're in the 15th century, which makes it
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of gives me like not to the degree of like the Fable humor, like that British humor, but it kind of gives me that vibes a little bit because there are some genuinely like really funny parts in this game. So yeah, I just can't wait to like every week. All right, story time. Like this is what happened when I was on this. Like it's one of those types of games.
Yeah. I can't wait to play more of it.
Yeah,
it's a really special game, and I think Skyrim does this too. But I always love in like a big RPG game like this where when you do like something like when you do sword combat, you level up your sword combat, or when you are sneaking, you level up your sneak. When you're
everything feels like it has purpose. Everything you're doing, which is great. I haven't really come across too many like glitches or anything like that. And the game itself looks absolutely beautiful. Like it's the way that the greenery looks is amazing. I did have this one really weird glitch that happened. I was trying to, I guess for the context of not trying to spoil anything, I was trying to get back a cart that had been stolen, and I went into this bandit camp that had it. We captured the one guy that was part of it, kind of killed the rest of his people, and then the one guy ran off. And the game is like, all right, go, or the guy you're with is like, all right, you're gonna go capture him, whatever. And the first time I ran up to him and he killed me, so I restarted. And then the second time I just couldn't find him. Like he had ran off, and I just could not find him. So I went back to where the guys were at, and it's the game says updated mission. They got impatient and they left. So they went back to, so it told me to go back to, their home. And I was like, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to kind of reload the save, ended up killing the guy. And then, told him, okay, hey, I had to kill him, but we've got this guy. And they're like, okay, we're fine. We get back on the cart. He takes me back to the main area where you start out. And all of a sudden, the game's like, these two characters got impatient and left, and the clothing changed of these two characters. And then I was like, what in the world? And then it popped back in. It was really weird. But
Hell.
yeah, I don't know if something broke, but it ended up working out. But that was really strange.
That's weird.
Yeah. So that's the only weird one that I've seen.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't come across anything like game breaking.
Yeah.
And it runs pretty smooth too. Like I think it runs at 60. Like I'm playing on performance mode and haven't had any issues. So
yeah. I started on fidelity mode and it was a little bit choppy. So I was like, I'm gonna switch over. And then it's been perfectly fine ever since. But yeah, I mean, I've really enjoyed it so far, you know, outside of just trying to get through the initial frustrations. The save system isn't the greatest in the world. I kind of wish it was, again, like an Elder Scrolls where you could just save wherever you want. But maybe they don't want to do that just because like you can get killed so easily. They don't want you to, you know, get stuck. And because of the game, I mean, it'll save automatically like during like a story mission or something like that. And then if you carry around these types of potions, you can save whenever you want. But so I get why they do it. They don't want you to get stuck in a save or something like that for having no health.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't wait to just play more of this game. It's
a great time.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Have you been
and then like how did you buy the bow and arrow or did you find it?
I got it from like the son of the drunk guy that was stuck in the tree.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I ended up. I guess I could have asked for. Did you buy it from him?
No, I just asked for it.
Oh, okay. I ended up. I was just. I think I was traveling to the blacksmith, and I happened to look. I was on like one of the main paths, and I happened to look over to the right, and there was like this cutout in the woods, and I followed the trail, and there was like an archery board set up against one of the trees and had a bunch of arrows in there. So I plucked them and I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like, is there going to be a bow somewhere? And I went around the tree. Sure enough, there was a bow and it just let me take it. So that's how I got my bow. So it seems like there's going to be a lot of that type of stuff. We just exploring and finding cool little
can't wait to find some like new swords or something, a mace. I don't know.
And it's cool that there's no, I mean, it's based off, you know, I'm sure loosely of, you know, real history. So there's not like there's no magic in this game, nothing like that. It's just pure sword combat,
just ripping each other apart.
Yeah,
it's great.
So yeah, we'll definitely be talking about this probably for the next few weeks as we get deeper into the game. But yeah, I would highly recommend it if you're a fan of Elder Scrolls and other sim-like games. It's great.
Yeah.
All right, Nick. Let's dive into the news. So we'll start with the state of play. So that got announced today for tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. About what 45 minutes?
Yeah,
of stuff.
That's a long time.
That's a long time. We haven't had one of these in quite a while. So Nick, give me some predictions.
I mean, you know, number one on my list.
It's happening.
You think so?
I think it's shadow dropping too. I think we'll be playing Bloodborne tomorrow, remastered.
Dude, if I'm playing Bloodborne tomorrow and Elden Ring Night Rain this weekend, that's gonna be loco, man.
Bloodborne remake tomorrow.
You think it's a full remake?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Like a Blue Point style. It's gonna be like one of the best looking games on PS5.
Yeah. No. If it's dropping tomorrow, it's only a remastered version. If it's a remake, it's coming probably in May.
Ninja Gaiden did it.
Yeah, but that's more of a remaster though.
Okay.
Did you finish Ninja Gaiden 2?
No, I fell off of it. I'll probably pick it up at some. I don't know if I'm gonna pick it back up, to be honest.
Cool.
Yeah, it just got, I don't know. The combat just felt a little bit. Again, it was probably just me, but it didn't feel super fluid.
Do you think you're still gonna play 4?
Yeah, because I think it's gonna be a lot quicker. I just think for whatever reason, I think just it being an older game, it just felt a little bit too slow.
A little bit too old.
Oddly enough, yeah. So I mean, I may go back to it. Who knows? Maybe before Ninja Gaiden 4 comes out, just to give that comparison again. But yeah, Bloodborne. Yeah, I think you're right. I think I agree with you. If it's gonna be like a remaster, like 60 FPS, higher frame rate, better graphics.
I guess would they go the like $10 upgrade route if you own Bloodborne? If that's the case, or they try to resell it?
I think they would just resell it. I mean, that game came out in what, 2013, 2014. So I mean, it's been a long time. I think it's okay to, but I really do think it's going to be a remake. I think it's going to be a really nice remake.
I really hope so.
Yep.
That's the one thing I want.
Yeah, I think that's what everybody wants. Just, I mean, it's rumored. There's gonna be a rumor to have a lot of remasters. Like they're probably gonna do Days Gone. You know, I was watching the Kind of Funny show earlier, and they were saying, I think it was oh gosh, I can't remember his name.
Tim, bless him.
Tim. He was like, with the Last of Us show, I feel like they're gonna do something Last of Us. Like they're gonna do like a Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2, like double pack. Like
it better not.
But yeah, I think there could be a lot of remakes, remasters kind of situation with this state of play.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully if Bloodborne is not part of this,
if Days Gone is here and Bloodborne isn't here, I'm gonna have a conniption.
Yeah, slap me silly.
Just slap me silly, dude. Oh yeah,
I think it's gonna be here for sure.
I think God of War trilogy could get a remaster.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind playing those games again. But again, like if you're gonna give us these, like just give us Bloodborne. Nobody else is asking for any of these games. I mean, maybe the God of War trilogy, maybe, but like come on.
It's so funny how they've done like every other remaster other than the one people actually want. Like no one asked for Last of Us. No one.
I mean, it's like Nintendo with they've remastered now every single Wii U game except for Twilight Princess and the Wind Waker, and I think Bloodborne is wanting more than those games, because I mean you can already play those games in HD and they play just fine. People just want them on Switch.
Well, you can play Bloodborne in HD.
Well, I mean, but like
they've already been remastered.
Yeah, they've already been remastered, and Wind Waker, like really, I mean, Twilight Princess is really the one that needs it. That game still looks like pretty cloudy on muddy on the Wii U, but like Wind Waker is pretty perfect for what it is.
That one would just be a simple port.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, if come on, Days Gone over Bloodborne, I think people are going to have a fit.
Yeah.
PlayStation will get roasted for sure.
Okay, let's outside of Bloodborne. I mean, we know about Ghost of Yotei and we know about Death Stranding 2. Do you think either of those show up?
I think we could get another trailer for Ghost of Yotei, and maybe a release date if it's coming earlier this year. Death Stranding, I guess we can bring in the news too. Other part, there's they're having a panel on March 9th at South by Southwest. Jesus. So, I mean, maybe they give us a trailer, maybe they even give us a date here, and then they'll have like a blowout on this panel. You know, I don't know exactly what this panel entails. But I mean, I think we see Death Stranding. I feel like that game is pretty close to coming out.
Yeah.
Like July, maybe.
Didn't we see it in last February's
State of Play? We've seen it in the last 2 State of Plays they've had. Yeah. It's all been cinematic cutscene, but that's kind of usually what Kojima does. I mean,
it's most of
gameplay a little bit closer to the game release.
Yeah.
But I mean, we could see Death Stranding there. Resident Evil, Resident Evil, Capcom usually has a history with PlayStation. So do we see 9? Maybe it's too early for 9, and maybe we'll just get a remaster or remake of 5 and maybe 6.
Yeah. My only question about that is they usually flip-flop back and forth between a new game and a remake. From what I remember, I know they had 7, and then they did 2, and then they
2,
did
and then
3 right
3.
after that, and
Yeah,
then
and then 8,
Village, and then
and then 4.
4. So I would expect them to go to Resident Evil 9. I mean, it's been 4 years since Village. I feel like that's enough time to develop a Resident Evil game. So I feel
Yeah.
like we could see that. I don't know if it would come out this year. I would love for it to come out like in October. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Uh,
Great Halloween
but I
game.
think out of all the third-party games that could be shown off at this thing, Resident Evil 9 is my most obvious pick, aside
Yeah.
from like another trailer for Monster Hunter Wilds.
Don't even put it in there. I'm good. We've seen so much of that game.
They
at this
have to
point.
remind us about the beta that's out. Wasn't there a beta out last weekend, or was it this weekend?
It might have came out like yesterday, or like Monday or something. I'm not 100% sure. It might, yeah, or last weekend. I'm not sure. I don't know. We could see something like Judas from Ken Levine's studio, Bioshock creator. We could see that. I mean, we need a release date for that game. That could potentially be there, third party wise. I mean, I don't see us seeing like Wolverine or anything like that, or anything Insomniac related.
Yeah, nothing Insomniac. Probably nothing from Santa Monica, unless it's a God of War trilogy remaster, and I don't think that's them.
I see. And I've seen some people talk like maybe God of War prequel, so it's like God of War back in the Greek mythology, but it's more in the style. It's in the style of new God of War, but it's a prequel game. That could be interesting.
I mean, I would love like a shorter God of War, a 10-hour God of War experience, $40, something like.
I've been talking this for years. Like, I don't understand why they don't have, and it sounds like maybe the Halo they're doing Halo that way now, but like, why haven't we had a horror, like a first person horror Halo game or something? Like, just take these incredible franchises and just make not a lot, because you don't want to like oversaturate the market with these games, but like do like really cool smaller side projects, like Nintendo did with Capcom with Zelda. Like give them an IP and let them work their magic and make something really cool. If it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out, and you're not spending hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions on a game. But yeah, give us like a smaller side. Like, I don't know, you could have gave us like a smaller, what's the son's name in God of War? Atreus, like a smaller, like the smallest Atreus game. But now people would get mad because you're not playing as Kratos, but whatever. Just something small. It would be really cool.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is you always have to build out a use case for developing, or build out a case for developing a game, and it's gotta be able to make a ton of money.
Yeah.
Which is why Concord happens. You promise that a game is gonna be such a success, and you pour hundreds of millions of dollars into it, and then it's not.
Yeah. I mean, they did with like Uncharted. What was like the side Uncharted game where you play as Chloe and
Lost Legacy?
Like that was like a $40 experience. I don't know how well that game sold, but that was a really cool game. It did an interesting like hub world kind of thing and really let you explore that game. So I don't know.
I don't understand why larger companies like PlayStation and Xbox can't just have a small strike team developing an indie game, like a Balatro or something like that doesn't take much to develop, right? Like it doesn't take maybe 10 to 20 million, 10 to 50 million to develop, but it's just a smaller game that, could make them a ton of money. Could pop off.
It's tough when, I don't know, when you look at indie games, because indie games, I mean, they want to be, of course, everyone wants to be like super successful and make tons of money, like the Balatro guy. But I think the intentions aren't quite as good. Maybe that's the wrong phrasing, but like, I don't know, with indie people, like you you really feel the passion, I guess, more so than I think you do with AAA games. Not always the case, but yeah, it's hard to like have that AAA mindset, and you're like, okay, we're gonna make a indie game.
Because then it feels like you're trying to capitalize.
Yeah, you're trying to capital like. I mean, like I know the Dave the Diver is really really good, but that was kind of backed by like a company with a lot of money. And granted, I know that team is not. They probably didn't have that mentality going in, but it's hard to I don't know. It's hard to kind of like create that same magic, I guess. But I mean, but they have a lot of talented people, so they might be able to do something smaller.
Yeah, I guess all you need is someone to pitch the
Yeah.
idea. But then you got to talk about finances, and then it's like, well, then you have to make money, and that kind of.
But I mean, that's the whole point of Game Pass, right? Is what we've been told is like not every single game is going to be financially great for Xbox, but and they shut down Hi-Fi, the Hi-Fi Tangos. So I mean, that's kind of what that's the kind of the whole point of Game Pass that we were told, is they could kind of fund these smaller stuff like South of Midnight. That's not like that doesn't sound like it's going to be a huge AAA game. And then it's probably not going to push the needle on subscribers, but it just kind of adds to the portfolio of what Xbox can do. And then if you have, like you said, if they can come in and make a indie game, and the indie vibes, right? I think that could be cool.
I mean, I feel like Obsidian is a really great example of that. They live on all sides of the spectrum between Pentiment to Grounded, and then Avowed and Outer Worlds too this year. I mean, they put out a ton of games in the past.
Yeah, they've all been quality. So
yeah,
I mean, they're kind of like, I don't know, they're kind of like Insomniac in a way. Like Insomniac kind of has carried the end of PS4 and PS5 generation with their stuff. So yeah, Obsidian's been
killing it.
They've been killing with their games, but yeah. Anything else you can think of that's gonna be here?
The elephant in the room. Do we see anything from Xbox in this state of play? Whether it's Gears, Halo, even
I think Indiana Jones maybe we'll get a release date for that. I could see them doing that. I don't think like Gears. I don't think would be well taken if they announced either a new Gears game at a PlayStation event. I think
okay. I guess I see what you're saying, because if they put out,
because like the Gears collection or anything like that is not confirmed yet for Xbox. So if they were to announce that at someone else's event, I think people are already very hesitant about the situation. I think that would rub a lot of people the wrong way. So I think Xbox definitely wants to control that narrative. But Indiana Jones, I think that's as a very high possibility of being there.
Yeah. What about something like Avowed or Hellblade?
Avowed, no. I think Avowed's going to be exclusive for a while. Same like South of Midnight. A Doom maybe could have a trailer, because that's already confirmed for PlayStation. We may see another trailer for Doom. Hellblade might. I mean, that started out on like a PlayStation exclusive. So that's definitely a possibility. I don't think we see a lot of Xbox games there. Yeah, I think Indiana Jones could be there. Hellblade and Doom, I think, are the three. I don't think anything new is going to get announced from Xbox.
Okay.
I think that would just rub people the wrong way.
Yeah. So, yeah, especially if it was like, I mean, I know they wouldn't announce a Halo 1 remake there, but if they did, that would piss me off a little bit. Like, wow, you really couldn't create your own showcase for that?
Yeah. Unless Phil came out, that would be kind of insane.
And he was like really excited about the partnership.
Yeah, he was excited, and he's like, "Hey, we're so excited with partnering with PlayStation. We've got a really special surprise coming to all platforms. Here's Halo 1 remake." Like that, I think that could be cool. But if they just dropped a trailer for Halo 1 remake without any context, from Phil, because you gotta have Phil. I mean, Sarah Bond, yeah, she's cool, but like Phil is still that guy.
Yeah.
I think people are comfortable around with what Phil has to say, for the most part. So yeah, if you were to lead that announcement, that could be pretty legendary. No pun intended.
That'd be a game changer if he
Yeah.
did. I mean, yeah, come out and say, you know.
But if they were just to drop a cold trailer and like, okay, Halo 1 remakes coming to PlayStation and Xbox and blah blah blah, I think that would definitely rub people the wrong way, and me too in a little bit of a way. Be like, all right, okay, come on.
Like you've really given up on Xbox. Yeah.
But if you were to lead the announcement with him like shaking hands with whoever, I can't remember his name, the lead of PlayStation, like legendary moment.
An exchanging, well, not an exchange, but a giving of your best franchise to PlayStation.
Yeah, that could be crazy.
Is there anything you would like to see come to Xbox from PlayStation?
From PlayStation to Xbox?
Yeah.
I mean,
you have both consoles.
I have both, so like I don't really. Yeah, I don't really. I mean, maybe like the Resistance trilogy, like maybe put that on Xbox, like remaster that and throw that on Xbox. I mean, that's a dead franchise at this point. So do maybe that.
Killzone, maybe.
Killzone, yeah. Why not? Why not Killzone? I mean, that's essentially a dead franchise at this point. You know,
Helldivers.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, third person shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Make it cross-play, whatever. That could be cool. You know, and then I mean Silent Hill and Celebrate, like, you know, put them on there.
Yeah.
Just so everybody can kind of experience those games. I mean, because Silent Hill 2 is just incredible. Absolutely incredible. Same with Stellar Blade. So yeah, I mean, there's not a franchise that I'm like itching to play because I can play whatever at this point. But for other people that haven't experienced it, for the newer stuff, yeah, like I think Silent Hill 2 is like a number one. Yeah, and that, you know, I don't know if that game is that a timed exclusive or is that eventually coming to Xbox?
I think it's a timed.
It's a timed. Okay.
I mean, but it might be a timed exclusive in the way that Final Fantasy
still is
7. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But like I said, I mean, I could play everything, so there's nothing I'm itching to play that I can't. But all that stuff going over to Xbox would be really cool.
Yeah.
What's that one like indie game? Little
Big Planet?
No.
Oh,
Little Devil Inside.
Yeah, the one that was shown off like 2020.
Yeah, that game looked really, really cool, and we haven't seen any of that yet or since. So maybe show that off and give a release date for that.
Man,
I'm sure we'll see Baby Steps, that weird like walking simulator baby game.
Man,
I don't know. I have a feeling we're gonna get something. We're gonna get something like God of War related. I just got a feeling.
I think it's gonna be the remastered trilogy. Yeah. But man, those 2020 presentations from Xbox and PlayStation, those just had a bunch of vaporware in them. Like,
it was
just never gonna come out.
No. I mean, they State of Play 3 still hasn't come out.
State of Play 3?
Or not State of Play. What is it?
State of Decay.
State of Decay, yeah, geez. State of Decay 3 still hasn't come out. I mean, we did get a trailer for that last year. So it's not vaporware. But that still hadn't come out. Fable was announced.
What was the other one from Rare?
Oh yes.
Everwild.
Everwilds, yeah. Everwilds. That still hasn't come out. You know, we did get the updated trailer last year for Perfect Dark, so like seems like that's looking pretty good. Yeah, there's just a lot of stuff that was announced that, yeah, like you said, just absolutely everywhere.
What's the like extraction? Not extraction. What's the contraband? Contraband. That's another one.
Oh
Just
yeah,
title
Contraband.
card for that one.
Yeah. A lot of title cards from Xbox at that presentation.
Yeah.
Do you think we see anything Fair Games or um, Marathon? Any of those live service games that are still
I don't
the
think so.
Jade Raymond Fair Games and Bungie's Marathon extraction shooter? Both I think are extraction shooters.
What is the Fair Games one?
Jade Raymond, she's the one that she was like the lead designer or lead on the original Assassin's Creed game. She's got her own studio, but Fair Games is like, it's like the fair, and it's got like the S is the money sign, and you're extracting.
Oh, the game is called Fair Games.
Yeah, it's called Fair Games, and like it was announced, and I think in the presentation when they talked about the 12 live service, it was like that and Foam Stars and Marathon.
Concord.
Yeah, Concord was in there. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't know if they show off any live service game.
Yeah,
I think
to
the iron's still too hot to.
Yeah, they need to let them bake a little bit more.
Yeah, because I mean, no one's pining for them.
No,
so
I think those games are going to get restructured in a way to where they're not going to be. You can't charge for them. You cannot charge more than you can't charge for them if you're going to have.
I still think they're going to fail.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Suicide Squad. Like that one was built as a live service. They ripped it out, and it still didn't have any heart.
No.
It's Gotham Knights, same thing.
I wouldn't even try anymore. Like I think Apex Legends is going through like a kind of a down phase right now, where like they're doing some really weird stuff with their battle pass, where they're charging the same, but it's like a lot less content.
I think they're switching over to or developing Apex Legends 2.
Yeah,
trying to have a resurgence.
In which like I would just prefer them to just do a Titanfall game. Like I know Titanfall 2 did not sell what they wanted, but I don't know. Maybe turn Apex Legends into. I know it's the same universe, but maybe incorporate the Titans somehow. Like I would play that game. I would play a live service Titanfall game. Like that would be really cool. If they did it right. I mean, it's EA, so probably not. What about Skate? Do you think we see anything from Skate here? It's been a while, and I just don't think EA has the chops anymore to like have their own standalone presentation.
I mean, they did say early 2025 for the early access.
Yeah.
So maybe it's here. That'd be great.
It'd be cool.
I would love a little shadow drop early access, but actually, does PlayStation have early access, or is that just Xbox and PC?
Well, I know, Xbox has got like the ID at Xbox program. I don't know if PlayStation does or not. But I mean, you could do like at least like a beta weekend or something.
Right. Yeah.
Just something. Would be really cool. I just want to see what that game looks like.
Me too.
I just hope it's good.
I've tried to get into the Insider program.
Yeah. No luck.
Can never get in.
Well, we'll see. So, yeah, I think there could be a lot of cool. I mean, it's 45 minutes of stuff here, so I mean, there could be some really, really interesting stuff. But
yeah,
we'll see. And then last one, Nick. This is more for you, but Elden Ring Night Rain test is coming this weekend. I am not a part of it, but you are. So I'm very excited to hear your story, your return.
My return from the lands between, or whatever the lands are now. I don't know.
Yeah, the between.
Yeah, there's like 5 different windows of time to play in. They're all kind of weird. It's like 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. EST.
Can you play any of those dates, or do you have a specific date?
I think you can play any of those dates.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So I mean, I might try to play the one on Friday, but
yeah,
I might not end up playing until Saturday at some point. But
yeah,
I'm excited. I mean, honestly, like I don't have a ton of high hopes from Night Rain, just because it's like it's mostly a multiplayer only game, and it seems like it's kind of just retreading, previous Elden Ring and Dark Souls bosses. So I don't know how much I'm gonna enjoy it, but I'm very excited to try it and
Yeah. I
come
mean,
back
it's
with
from
my
Soft. Like
thoughts.
they haven't had a bad game ever.
Yeah, you could argue ever.
I
You
mean,
could argue like some of the Armored Core games were bad. I mean, I've never played the other ones, but
yeah.
you could argue some of them are lesser quality, but
Yeah, that is true. But I mean, just talking about Armored Core 6, I mean, that game is
it's phenomenal.
incredible. But I could see why people didn't like it. I mean, it's definitely a stage-based kind of game. But it's still really, really good.
Mhm.
And then just all their Souls games has just been, whether you like the Dark Souls over Bloodborne or over Sekiro, each to each their own. But they've all been fantastic games. So
Yeah. But
I've got confidence, and they can cook up something real good for us. But if it isn't good, we'll just say okay, whatever. It's the first miss they've had in a long time, and it's multiplayer. As long as they can make sure like the network test, and that's why they're doing this test. But as long as like the connectivity is great, there's not any weird from soft annoyances to get the co-op going well.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it could be a really cool experience.
I mean, Night Rain is like the cherry on top of the icing on top of the cake that is
Yeah,
Elden Ring. So it's like
exactly.
we've already gotten our fill. This is purely extra.
Purely
I
extra.
I do really hope they change their mind and add in the ability to play with 2 people. Because right now it's just 1 or 3,
Yeah, that's
and
that's a little weird. Uh,
they just need
maybe they
more
will.
to it.
Maybe if you can, I'm sure like you can share feedback in this network test. So maybe that if that comes up enough, maybe they'll like okay, we can. Because I mean, again, we're not developers, so we don't know. But like, how hard is it to just make it 2 people? A co-op, a
Like
true co-op
you
experience.
rebalance it, you
Yeah,
you you turn down the
you turn down the
HP
knob.
meter, turn down the knob, turn it from 3 to 2,
Yep.
and then,
I mean, because they're already rebalancing because you can play this by yourself.
yeah,
So they're
so just meet
already
in the middle.
doing they're already doing the balancing there. So why not? Why not?
I don't know. I maybe once I get into it and play it, I'll understand why it's either 1 or 3, but
Yeah,
it sounds weird
it does.
at
It
first
is very
glance.
strange.
Yeah, so I'll return with thoughts on Monday.
Cool. Well, I'm very excited to hear about that. But yeah, I think that is going to wrap up the show. Hope everyone had a great Super Bowl weekend, and I don't know. I guess if you're an Eagles fan, you're the only one that had a good time. Otherwise, it was a really boring game. But otherwise, it's always fun to hang out with family and friends and stuff like that. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, we'll be back next week with more Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 talk. Nick playing the Night Rain game, and
Maybe Avowed if it reviews really well and we decide to
does that come out on Friday?
you can buy like the early version for $20 and play it.
I might do that since you bought the indie one. I might do that for. We'll see. Because you still got like all the DLC, right? Because I think that's what's part of it. It's like you get the season pass.
Yeah.
Because like India, I think is the same way. Like you get all the season pass. So
Yeah.
it's like you're paying early, but you're paying for the season pass essentially.
It's very what they're doing is very intentional. Releasing it on a Tuesday
Yeah,
and then allowing you to play early on a Friday.
yeah.
Really.
They're getting their extra money for sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people do it. I mean,
Ubisoft does it, and you can't even play the fucking game early.
yeah, because something's usually wrong. Ugh.
They just ripped you off for $100, and you didn't get anything out of it. But
Yeah, I am so glad because I almost did it. Well, because I had it pre-ordered and then Amazon fucked me over. But
wait, what'd
the
you?
Dragon Ball Sparking Zero.
Oh, to play early.
Yeah, to play it early. But you got like the season pass and all the nonsense.
Mhm.
I mean I like that game, but it wasn't up to my expectations. So I'm glad I did not do that.
Isn't it
So
like the
Amazon, thank you.
best-selling Dragon Ball game?
I think it is. I think it sold like 5 million copies or 6 million. It's
Jesus.
pretty up there. Yeah. And it's a great game, but I just,
It's not what you want.
Yeah, I don't love the 3D fighting, and I don't think I even tried the multiplayer on that game. I love like the 3D fighting in the single player, but I never cared for it in multiplayer because I didn't do it in the other games either. But yeah, just I don't know. I thought it was gonna be more, and I guess that's just the problem with anime games is they're just gonna keep kind of rehashing the same story over and over again.
Because they can't really create new stories, right? They have to stick to the source material.
Like well, yeah,
To a degree.
they do. I don't think they're well. Dragon Ball Fighters, they created a new player, like I think Android 21. But like whatever. I mean, it didn't really have anything to do with this. It did kind of, but that one didn't really rehash the story of Dragon Ball. And then like the Xenoverse games are interesting because you play as someone in the time squad or something like that. So you go back and you have to fix the timeline. And that was pretty interesting because you got to create your own character, and you can kind of pick and choose like, okay, I want Kamehameha and I want Vegeta's, whatever. So that one was a little bit more interesting. And then of course Kakarot. I really did like that game a lot. But yeah, we'll see everyone next week. And yeah, PlayStation State of Play, maybe Nintendo Direct. I feel like we say that every week now, but hey, we'll see.
I don't know if it's gonna happen anymore, but
yeah, we'll see. All right, guys. Bye bye.
Bye bye.